Hey everybody, like some of your other favorite YouTubers would say, we have an update, and is it a banger? Is it an absolute slapstick? Is it an absolutely engorging story that cannot be comprehended by the common normal folk without a little bit of modicum of apprehension and honesty? Which this story actually doesn't have much honesty, so let's just get into it. So to preface, there's been this Lego guy, this old dude who collected a ton of Star Wars stuff, which is awesome for him, and he tried to get it sold by consignment to get a little bit more increment. Now all of the Star Wars stuff is like $200,000 worth, right? And he's expecting to get maybe 78-80% of this money from the consignments and of like through a couple years of it slowly selling out of store. So what happened is the store, they're not supposed to be doing consignments. They're just supposed to buy stuff outright. And so the problem with that is they got fired from being the owner of the store, and another person got put in charge of the store. But they kept all of the Legos that the guy had given the store for consignment. And now the Legos are being sold by the new owner. And he's like saying, hey, can I get my Legos back? Because you're not giving me my money for the consignments now. What's going on? Because they weren't. And they were just selling it as if those Legos were theirs, which was very, very wrong. And there's like evidence, proof, and videos. And these guys have got all the videos of them, of the owner saying, oh yeah, they'll take on the property of the consignment and they'll take on all those responsibilities of paying them. But the problem is they took on the Legos and the responsibilities of selling the Legos, but they didn't take on the responsibility of giving money back to the person who gave them the Legos, because the company doesn't have a legal presence for consignment. So they're trying to hide it under the rug. That they're just trying to sweep it across the fields, and they're trying to put it in a house somewhere to get blown away by some werewolf that comes up in the night. And they're saying, well, there are Legos. What do you mean they're not your Legos? We own them. You don't have any right to these Legos. They're in our store. And so that's kind of what's happening. So there's a problem on both sides. It's not just the old man's, that he should... Okay, there's a problem with the store for sure. There's a problem with the company, which is allowing this to happen for sure. But there's also the problem of the old man not looking into if the store is actually legally, under the contracts of their big store, allowed to do a consignment, even though the man made his own contract with the store owner. The problem is that's civil law, not like company law, because it's a person-to-person trade, not a person-to-company contract. It's just a person-to-person contract. It was with the store owner at the time. So the new store owner doesn't have that contract, but he's the one in charge of the store. So there's a slight disconnect there between what the law allows you to do and what they say they can do. So they're trying to not give him back this guy's money. And these guys have been investigating, and they actually made it so bad legally for these people that they had to shut the store down and they had to move somewhere else. So we're going to see what they've got here. They've supposedly got an email that's been leaked from the company of the people who have been lying and stealing all these $200,000. This is a crazy situation. Oh, they named him. I'm gonna see if I can get my earphones on here so it doesn't back feed. There we go. Oh, I didn't know this guy's doing the news on it. Oh, I know Penguin's doing news on it. Of course, Mongler is doing it. Yeah, well, it's worthy to talk about. It's something that should be talked about. It is evil, isn't it? that's like the problem. You have to bring it to a judge. The judge would do the right thing. But if there's because there's a disconnect in the contract. So if they're saying this and that and they're taking it to court, the judge has the power to deliberate over a contract and what should be the outcome of this contract. And that can come up either by a vote. Usually just comes about by what the judge decides. But it can also be put towards a jury if it goes high enough in, the system, which normally this never does. And for something so small as 200,000, it probably wouldn't even bat an eye. Problem is, if it does go to vote, the jurors can decide who gets an amount of what and who is liable for damages. So you usually would get, if it's a big sob story and they have the heart for you, they'll maybe award you more if it and punitive damages, which can be more. It can get up to like million, up to like it's a lot. Like he can get more than 200,000 from it, due to damages and like mental stress and like lawyers' costs. Other than that, if they vote, he was going consignment, he should have this much money from consignment. He's already sold this much. What's the amounts that he sold? We don't really know because they're not tracking the inventory on it. And so, they're probably going to try and award more than what the actual Legos are worth to this guy. Just because, the company has caused a problem and they need reparations for that, which I believe could be the right way to go. But let's see what these guys are doing, because they're going about it in a legal way, but they're going about it in a very off-putting legal way. Because honestly, they're off-put themselves by these guys' actions, so they're just kind of doing what he's doing back to him. And the guy there's a video of the guy going, "Oh, I see what you're doing now. I get it. You're doing what, I get it. I see." Literally, that's what he did. Oh, is that the Borderlands arch? Oh, that's defense to offense. That's like saying you're gonna start attacking people. Oh, that's like a personal attack. If that comes up in court, that's like saying you're going to commit assault on somebody, or you're going to start harassing them. That is not a good thing to say legally. I'm not a lawyer, but I do enjoy knowing my law. Yeah. See, if you're suing just to silence, that's another issue. And if you're doing that as terms of like, how can we quiet somebody? And it's not for a specific purpose of like figuring the matter out, then that's when you get into hot water. Although these guys are already in hot water as of like when they took when the store took it to the consignment, because they should have told the store, okay, there's no consignments. We can't make separate legal binding contracts, and whatever you do is what you do. But I'm not sure they probably clarified that to the business owner. So that's another thing that could come up in court. The fact that it's not clarified to the business owner that there's a difference between a company contract and a personal contract for like consignment. That's like saying you're going to have this person put them all on eBay, not put them in a store. That's like what that person took on as a contract. But the problem is BAM can't sign anything, and the store owner signed on behalf of BAM, which they can't do because BAM doesn't allow signing on behalf of the company. So it's like a weird issue. It's like saying, hey, can I get 3 tomatoes? And they give you 2 tomatoes and an apple. And they're like, oh, yeah, this is you wanted the 3 tomatoes. Well, we consider 3 tomatoes to be 2 tomatoes and an apple. And this is what we're offering. And they go, oh, well, that's not really what I thought it was. Well, now I have 2 tomatoes and an apple. But what I wanted was 3 tomatoes. Can I go back on this? And like, well, no, we have a contract for the 2 tomatoes and an apple, from what I understand. I'm sorry I didn't tell you this earlier and clarify this. Didn't you know? I thought you knew. Is that not? We have great apples here. I thought you would want to trade your tomatoes for the apple. And that doesn't make sense to me. Oh no, I quite like apples, but I didn't really want the apples. I just wanted the tomatoes. And they're going, oh, well, we have a mix-up here. Now we're in the contract. Now we can't switch out the tomatoes, 2 tomatoes and an apple anymore for, what you had before. We've already spent that. It was just gone. It's not in the contract anymore. The contract's done. This contract's done. Except they kind of like still have ongoing contract. And this is the problem. This is it. So they state here, it takes on all of that consignment. So he's saying he's taking on a business. He stutters a bit. He goes, he's taking on a business. So that part is true. So, but he says he takes on all that consignment, all that consignment. And I'm not sure that's anything which the company actually has in their business contract between the owners and BAM, because I'm pretty sure they're not doing consignments. So if they're saying, oh, the consignments, they go over to him. So it's like he's saying, in his own way, whatever you have as a consignment, it's now being owned by BAM, and because you've taken it into the store when you weren't supposed to, we're considering that our property now, and you're going to be on the hook for whatever you did in taking on that consignment when you weren't contractually allowed to. See, he's leaving a lot of words out here, and this is what I find happens, and this is the problem. Sometimes I think some of these people are just like ions put into a body shell that were made by, like ions made by an AI that are put into a body's shell. Because none of these people really explain anything or get into the nitty gritty, get into details, or want to talk about anything in full. They want to leave out all the detail so that they can just kind of wishy-washy go about their business and go about their day and go about, the weird and awful things they do. So I think that's just all very strange. So it says they're taking over the consignment. It's not saying they're going to sell those consignment items for that person who gave them the Legos. It's saying they're taking over the consignments. It's not saying the consignments are transferred. It's not saying the consignments will be sold by the new owner for the customer who brings them in. He's saying he's taking them over. Typically, when you take something over, it's like, okay, the Europeans took over North America from the natives. They say it's theirs now. Did they give the natives anything really about it? No, they made a bunch of schools where a bunch of native kids died and were tortured and were buried in the backyard as a graveyard. That's what they did. It's not good at all. Taking over is not a good term, in my opinion. Russia's trying to take over Ukraine right now. That's another story. Israel and Iran, I think, are trying to take over each other right now. taking over is not a good thing. Unless you're going to like take over someone's job, which is just kind of like someone's taking a job. It's like it's more like a big store and other things going on. But like if you're taking over someone's shift and they're working, that's so much different. That's like, okay, I don't have that money. So they're taking over your money for that while. But you're okay with it because you need the rest or the off time or the vacation, or you need the switch of the shift. In which case, if you switch and you're both still making money, it's just at different times. And so no one's really losing anything. So that's why I say that's different. And here, someone's losing something. So that's them saying and clarifying that they don't offer consignments, but the store took a consignment. Well, actually, the store owner took a consignment. The store essentially did not, like, as a legal entity, the store, like the area that they're in, the building, you know, the workspace, the business space, that did not take on the consignment, which that's one of the issues. Because then you can't get the money from corporate who owns that building space, that workspace, that essentially the legal entity. And they don't have a contract for doing consignments anyway. I mean, the guy had a contract with the store owner, but like I'm saying, there's no the seller to, sorry, the person who's giving the Legos to the store with the upper company, the full BAM company, which I think that's really, I think the guy should have gone to the upper company first and asked, and then they would have put it into many stores potentially, and then gotten the consignment from a lot more stores at once, and that could have been a huge benefit to him. And then it would have had a legally binding contract with the company entity itself instead of a store owner. I think that's where he went wrong. But someone's got to write this, so I want to know what's happening with this. Oh yeah, it's bad life for all of them. And you know, it could have been really good for all of them. Oh, I just noticed the guy's shirt says Chick-fil gay. That's hilarious. Oh man, someone's got to make a picture of some queer people covered in batter in like a hot sun, like tanning. Just turning into chicken nuggets or something. And then this guy's wearing shorts with like the pink suit. Like these guys are above and beyond in amusement factor on top of a serious issue. It's like they want to bring attention in to it, which I think is just great. They're actually trying to do their due diligence to get this noticed. Yeah, they really are. U.S. Postal Inspection Service? See, if there's something to do with the government where you owe the government taxes, that's when either the CIA or the FBI get involved. And they get paid by that money, so you know they want that money. Let's see. But like the FBI and CIA aren't people who would normally investigate something like this. But like this is like a court claim thing. This is before when No, this is not when FBI would get involved. They already have a contract written out by two parties. So this was something that would more easily be solved in a court of law as opposed to being investigated by the FBI. In which case these guys are already doing investigating, so they could already start going the other legal routes. They've done a few other things. So they could take their own legal actions, although I'm not sure it would hold up in court with the means in which they made these legal actions happen. Mm. A little bit of side speak there in that message then. That's what they're saying. Oh. Mm. That's also illegal. Cease and desist demands regarding the unauthorized website they created. Oh. Unauthorized. Well, actually, it's an authorized, fully registered company website. And it fully follows the modicum of the law. Unfortunately, and a judge would say to the Bricks and Minifigs company, unfortunately, due to the way they describe their company logo in their initial registration, and court judges have said this for exact same things, we cannot consider this to be a infringement on the copyright of your company. May look similar, but it is in fact a different entity all on its own. There it is. I should call her. Nah, she'd be swamped. Did he say legal or illegal? Let's see. Let's see. What does this say? Oh. Okay. Legal act. See, there's some nitpicking here, because it's like, imagine you're the company owner and you're saying, we don't like that they cut us in our legal act. Not illegal, just legal. Which that's a problem, because if this guy is now quoting that the owner of the company is doing legal acts, then there's nothing really he can fight against. But how is that even in the video? I think he did say illegal, but it just comes out sounding as legal, and then the closed captions auto did closed captions and thought it was legal also. But he's probably saying illegal. Definitely a lot of flaws. Is there a website made from GoDaddy? Wow. Still crazy situation though. The shorts make it even better. Okay, so they definitely talked to a lawyer, the company, because they would likely not catch stuff in their own like signed agreements for franchisees and like what their contracts with the franchisees are. If like they wouldn't have caught anything in their agreements. So I think they had a lawyer look over their agreement and are like, did you write this on a drunken Monday? So, and started telling them, okay, you need to make these changes, put those things in the contracts, make this your internal policy. Internal policy is really just your contract stuff with your franchisees. That's really just internal policy is. It's how you handle your business and how you have your business run on a day-to-day and what sort of things you allow your franchisees to do and how you organize the structure of your company. Oh. Oh. So wow, I didn't. This is some news I had not known before. So the franchisees may also offer consignment services. Oh, interesting. Oh wait, what does it say here? Approved by something? Because if it says approved by BAM, then how would it be approved by BAM if they didn't send that contract to BAM first and then got, you know, John Hancock brought it back? And John Hancock's just another word for signature. And then brought it back to the store and then seen it's been signed off on to allow it to be have legal entity acknowledgement by the upper corporation, which then would be the approved part. But I don't think they did that. Now let's see. Can I maybe? I want to see this whole part here. Looks like they cut it off on the side a little bit. They did. Oh, interesting. So this view here is a little bit cut off. Oh my goodness. I'm doing a faux pas here. Uh-oh. Fit the screen. Okay, so this is the whole thing. Yeah, amazing, isn't it? But if you look here, we're gonna make this a little bigger. It's cut off, but here it says, make it even bigger. May offer, what does it say? May offer consignment services approved something. Now, let me just get better. I usually watch stuff on 360, but I'm going to go 2160 for this, even though I don't think my screen can handle it. Okay, approved theme entertainment services. Okay, so I'd like to know what's on the right-hand side. Approved offsite. Wait, it doesn't say approved consignment services. It says approved theme parties, approved offsite events. It says unapproved after-school projects or programs, essentially. Well, that's an interesting one. Unapproved school project-based programs teaching the principles of building with Lego blocks to children. I mean, if the company starts thinking that using suing as Lego blocks is, I mean, it would be after school. I mean, it's technically, they've gone through school already. They're all adults, so it's all technically after school, if you want to nitpick. And they're using suing as Lego blocks. And so I think that's probably what their program is. They're going through that regard. They're trying to stay within their contract in a very legal way. And other approved related toy-related services approved by us. The services. What the heck? Other toy-related provided by us. Services. That's so funny. It's like saying you're going in for a handy and a tug. Oh, you're going to approve some services by us. Oh, it's whatever we want to give them. You come in. You give us $5. I don't tell you what you get. I give you what I give you. It's company, man. I mean, as much as I love Asians, I hate places that probably offer a rub and tug. Which this company seems to be offering their rub and tugs. Okay, I'm gonna get this screen back. Wait a second, there you go. Okay, I need to get this back on a normal track because this uses too much metadata. Wow. Let me see this. Actively, okay. Internal legal strategy publicly. Compromise and damage our active legal case. Oh, wow. They're just like going ham on trying to aggregate people into hating this one do-gooding YouTuber. How horrible of a company is that? Like, this guy is in the public eye, right? And the company is now in the public eye, and he thinks he can just take all of the past history of what people have seen this YouTuber do for good and turn it on its head in an attempt to, you know, vilify this poor young YouTuber. Actually, he's probably getting rich off this. But it's a good way. It's a good thing because there's more he can put towards doing good for the people. Yeah, good for him. Wow. So this only applies if there's not a continuation of the videos that, say, Ben Schneider or Reckless Ben is putting out. Because if he does a video every week, then this peak intensity will continue with every video. And it might not be as huge. It might be like, okay, here's the initial, and then here's like continuous. But this, if your baseline is here and you're going up here and staying at a like above half, and people keep being more and more interested, you're just going to keep getting more and more people who know about it. And so the problem becomes for the company that more and more people are knowledgeable about this incident. It's not even the wave, it's that the news has now spread through the first initial waves, and now people are knowledgeable about this, and the knowledge is continuing throughout however many weeks this guy can put a video out. In which case they're going to not buy from the company. The company's going to lose money. They're going to get bad reputation, and they're going to, after a while, if it's so bad, they're going to say, "Oh, we've seen a loss in our income since this guy put his videos out, and he's still putting his videos out, and we're going to have we're now suing him for the loss in income that he's caused to our company." That's probably the next step that they're going to try to do. But like I said, it's the knowledge that kills the company. Not, I think, someone trying to take this company down. That's the issue. We call that hype. The intensity peaks. Wow. So you see, that's what I'm saying. It keeps getting more views, more people know about it, and that's a good thing because then information spreads. And we're in a beautiful age of digital technology that information can spread very rapidly. So it is what it is. It can will probably make fake reviews saying this company is bad and other stuff like that, which they're not in charge of. They're not doing that, but like they can't be held liable for that if that happens. Heightened noise. I think it's also funny that the company doesn't frame themselves as the little guy. That's interesting because a lot of companies will try and do that. As like, oh, all these people are hating us because we're just trying to get these Legos sold by ourselves, and it just we didn't need to consign those, and they're ours now. And we're the little guy, even though they have like companies, every buildings and people running bricks and minifig stores, like many places. And with most being actually probably pretty good. See there, that's what I'm saying. He's going to continue his content for 2 years, and he's going to go through the processes. He's going to learn a lot through this, and he's going to come out a better person, even though people are going to give him so much advice because he's the guy with a lot of social, media contact. He might even get the Legal Eagle to do a little bit of a blurb on this. He probably will because it's gonna be a big issue. Yeah. He's adding more fuel. No, long-term recovery is the 2 years. Yeah, that's weird. Don't engage emotionally. Wow. Yeah. When they went to him, he was super emotional. Going by his own experience. Wow. Don't do it. I don't know. A lawyer would have told him that to do that too. Yeah. But on that note, you gotta check these guys out. I gotta go. I gotta get some stuff done. I gotta eat. You gotta check this guy's video out. It's absolutely hilarious. It's already 40 minutes. I can't draw this out too long. So these guys are absolute chads for doing what they're doing. And I think, more people gotta be proactive like this. And less people have to be weird like the company owners.